certainly one of my very favorite memories from We Are Scientists is playing on stage, opening for REM in Madrid, in a bowl stadium in Madrid, and Mike Mills, bass player of REM, came on and played one of our songs with us. And look, that's enough to already rank in somebody's greatest memories. But while we were playing, I happened to glance off stage, and REM's guitar player, Peter Buck, was crouching behind some, equipment stacked to the side, crying because he had been left out. That's my greatest memory.
Those are the sweetest tears you ever tasted.
I got one of the lap them.
Yeah, I like that too.
There's so many. Probably the biggest thing for me is, having grown up a music fan myself, is, meeting people that I grew up listening to. Meeting people that had a profound influence on my life on a level. Like, I don't know if I could ever look at everybody's peers, but, being in a room with other people and they're looking at you as doing the same thing that they are, even though maybe you're not on the same level, and that's pretty cool. I've had some great experiences, like backstage at the Golden Gods, like just talking to Lemmy, just something as simple as that, sitting at the bar, being next to, in the green room, being next to like Maynard from Tool, or like I said, most recently having Dee Snider, tweeting about our Stay Hungry cover version and sending our boy his best. I mean, that stuff's awesome. Those are my memories. Those are the things that I remember, that stand out in my mind.
I think my most memorable memory was the first time we were approached by a record label. And the reason for that was that I never planned anything but the one little next step. I wrote songs, and the next step for me was to get people together and have a band to play the songs. And then the next after that was like, what if we could play live? We would never even thought about a demo or recording. I always took step by step. I never had any big plans or aspiration for like becoming successful. I was always honest. So suddenly one day you get that letter from a record label, and you just go, whoa. It's like, I'm really doing this. Like, it was like, we got a record label, is interested in what we're doing. Of course, this is 91 and I'm 16 years old. But that was like the first time that it clicked for me that this is what I will be doing for the rest of my life. Before that, it was just being my friends, not even thinking about the future at all. And so that was probably the biggest moment.
It just happened recently, actually. We got to open for A Perfect Circle in Omaha and in Missouri, and it could be really daunting. We've played to like 1,000 people before, but nothing like 15,000 seat arenas. So it's daunting as a two-piece to go up on a stage and try and win over an audience that's known for not caring about the opening band. And I think we pulled it off, and it was a great set of shows, and it was really, really fun. It felt like an accomplishment. I got to give my kudos to Emily, because she just kind of rocked it like we were in Queen or something, Like it was cool. It was a great challenge, and I think we pulled it off.
In 2015, Riff Raff didn't show up to the Camden show. Like, he got stuck getting a cheesesteak, so Kevin Lyman didn't know what to do, and I'm like, I'll do the show. I'll play instead of Riff Raff. And they're like, just get up there and stall. And we're like, Riff Raff will be right here. And I kept playing. No one knew what was happening. There was thousands of people there, and so no one knew. And Riff Raff never came out. But I was with his drummer. It was funny. And I'm also a playable video game character in NBA 2K11 and 2K13. And they sold about 10 million games. So you could be me, like with Drake and Snoop Dogg as a celebrity rapper. And if you want to know how I did that, you'll have to buy my book and my tape.
2012, I did a South American tour of my old band, Foreshadow. And about just a segue, they are some of the greatest audiences. I mean, I know I'm not the only one to say this. I've seen other bands like the Cult interviewed on TV, and they said, "Where's your favorite place to play?" And they go, "South America." And the interviewer said, "Where?" And they go, "Doesn't matter, just South America." It doesn't matter. And I concur 100%. I mean, we toured Colombia, Ecuador, Peru over 6 weeks, and every venue stop was just incredible and gracious and everything. But my favorite was playing the Calarca Metal Festival. It was the last show we did in Colombia before we crossed over into Ecuador. And we played at a performing arts center, which is rare for a metal band, but it was really cool. And it was what I loved about it was a pretty big stage. Well, the festival was going on all day. Our bus was kind of a little late. We got there kind of early evening. So a couple people from the event met us at the bus stop, grabbed our gear, took our gear. They brought us to our hotel room real quick, and then hurried us over to the venue. And we got there with just a band before the band that was on before we were supposed to go on was playing. So we pretty much just got there right on time. They brought us a little bit, some roast chicken, some beans and rice, water, some. And they had a few beers, and they treated us really well. So I mean, we were hungry. We haven't eaten for hours, so we're eating. And the stage was really. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was pretty deep, but it was really wide. And I love a wide stage because I love to run. I mean, I'm wireless for a reason. I love to run and play a show. But I couldn't really see the crowd capacity. I knew it was a decent crowd, but I couldn't really see it. And so I was eating, and I was done, and I had a few beers, grabbed my guitar, We go on stage, I set up my effects, we start doing a sound check, and I'm hearing a lot of talk and noises coming out, doing a sound check. And the curtain was closed, so I really had no idea, again, what's on the other side of the curtain. As soon as we're done, we gave the nod that we were good to go, and we started to break out. Our opening track was it was basically just an instrumental with a band, before the first song kicked in that we wrote. And as the curtain opened, the cheers it was just a wave of noise. People in the front, the orchestra pit was raised in the theater. There were people in the front. It was packed from the front. It was basically a raked audience. It didn't have balconies or anything, but went up like an amphitheater. And it was packed from the front all the way back. Incredible. And we played the song, and they're pumping their fists and they're screaming for us, and it was phenomenal. And then once we got done with the instrumental and our vocalist ran on, and then we started kicking in with actually our first actual song, and he let out that first opening scream, and boy, they went crazy. I mean, it was just so much hair flying and jumping and the moshing and everything, and that energy comes back onto the band, and I was just it was fantastic. And then I'm sitting here playing, and I mean, we've never played there before. But a lot of the crowd, as a surprise to us, knew our lyrics, and I'm hearing them like shouting the lyrics as I'm up and I'm headbanging, and I mean, and I know other bands have said that, but it really is the greatest feeling. And one of the other awesome moments is, when we were done with the first song, we took our first break, and there were photographers on either side of the stage between the metal magazines in Colombia. Some of them were there to cover us. Plus, some of the local people in town and everything, and concert photographers. There's a decent amount of press. It attracted good attention, for the country. And I had this one guy just come and just bear hug me out of surprise. And he's, broken English, he's speaking in my ear. He's like, "Thank you for coming to my country. You're so wonderful. Oh my God, I love your music. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I'm like, I'm sitting here with my arms like this. I'm like, okay, thank you, I love it, And then my vocalist said, it's like, and here's the next song, and he introduces the next song, and he's still holding on. I'm like, dude, you gotta let me go. I gotta play the next song. He's like, okay, And every time we had to break, basically the same thing. This kid was really into it. But after the show's over, again, I don't disappear. I mean, as soon as I had like a bottle of water and everything. you know, I came out from behind the curtain because we headlined. And we just went right into the crowd. A lot of people were starting to leave. And as soon as we came in, they turned around and came out. And the love that is there, it's just, I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. I know when that day comes and I take my final breath, and that is definitely going to be one of the last flashes of memories of my life that I will replay and recreate at the end, because that emotion, that true love, that appreciation and everything can't match. I mean, we got paid for it, but for that, I would have done it for free. It was just incredible.